Hi, everyone. Welcome to yoga. We're just going to figure the camera out as we play with this. Let's do some movement, shall we? Let's start with our hip circles. Good. And I'm just going to bring the hips forward on the inhale and exhale around and back. Good. And let me adjust some sound. Good. So once again, it's just hips come forward and then they're around and back on the exhale. Good. So nice. Just drop into your body and let go of the day. Doing our happy hour yoga. Inhaling, hips are forward. And exhale around and back. Nice, easy breath. And movement. Good. Good. And then just changing directions. Inhale as the hips are forward. Exhaling, they come around and back. Juicy in the joints. We're lubricating the joints and the hips and the ankles. They're both benefiting here. That synovial fluid in that ball and socket joint, the hips. Inhaling forward. And exhale around and back. Good. So let that just spiral to center in your own time. You just let it come back to pause. Nice. And then I'm just going to take the shoulders and they come up and around and down. So inhaling up, exhaling around and down. So this is my experimental live on YouTube video. So thanks for learning together. It's good. Inhaling, the shoulders come up. Exhale around and down. It's so good to give this to ourselves in the day. I try to wake up early and give it to myself before anything else so that I don't skimp on it later in the day. And now this happy hour moment is a great time to do it also so that you can replenish before the rest of the evening. Inhaling, shoulders up, and exhale around and down. Changing directions. Inhale, shoulders come up, and exhale around and down. Isn't this exciting? I've never used YouTube for, anything that I do before, and it's such a fun thing to check out. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, shoulders up, and exhale around and down. I've really missed doing this in person, and I'm just thinking maybe we can improvise. This is pretty cool. Yeah? Inhaling up, exhale around and down. Good. And then you can change directions as many times, as often as you wish. Always keeping that in mind. Yeah. And then letting the shoulders come down on an exhale and stay nice and low and relaxed. Yeah. Let's take the head now, inhaling as the head is centered. And then we have that lovely exhale as the head comes around and forward. Chin toward the chest and up. Inhaling up and around. Good. Inhale up. Exhaling around and forward. So if we were in a live, in-person class, now is when I would ask if anyone has any requests or anything they want to work on. Or how is your energy today? high, low, or so-so. So you do that for yourself. Check in, and you can take whatever offerings sound good and let other things go and linger where you like. That's one of the beauties of doing it at home here. Although I always welcome that in a live class in person as well. And my teacher always said that she would never trespass. Let's change directions with the head. That if you were doing your own thing in class, that she would never trespass. Inhaling up. Exhale around and down while you're doing your own thing. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling all those lovely little micro stretches in the neck. And not staying in any one place for very long helps the body release more than any kind of stretching or striving. It's just flirting with our limits and respecting them deeply. Good. And then we'll choose an inhale to let the head come up and stay up. Good. We'll take our swishes. Let's take our swish hands. Alternate which hand is on top. Just swing the arms. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Through the nose. Inhale. Through the nose and exhale through the nose. Earth breath. Helps us feel more grounded. Good. And then we'll let the arms come parallel. Inhaling forward, exhaling back still. This time taking that water breath so that it's inhale through the nose as you come forward, exhale through the mouth when you come back with the hands. That's the water breath. And that one helps you feel more emotionally easygoing and available. Releases tension you no longer need. And then when you feel complete there, you let the arms just swing to your sides, swing to a pause. Good, let's circle the wrists. We can circle the ankles a little bit. I just naturally did both. Being sure that your balance is feeling fine today. You can hold on to the sofa arm as you wish and change directions with the arms. I'm going to make a sort of relaxed fist with the hands now and make circles with arms outstretched to the sides. Yeah, and make circles with those wrists. So good. This really warms up the wrists, and it also contacts pressure points in the wrists. So we get this wonderful relaxation just from that. And then let's wiggle it out. Good. Nice, very nice. Let's take those shoulders. Let's draw them up toward the ears and squeeze, 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 squeeze. And slowly you let them down. Good. Inhaling, they drop toward the ears. Good. Slowly, like water out of a fish tank, they come down. Good. One more. Draw those shoulders up. So good. And this time, audible sigh out. Let it go. Good. That's supposed to be good for immunity. We're just doing a little review here. The body loves routine, and it loves rotations. Yeah. So now what I want you to do, I'm going to take the hands up toward the sky. Inhale. And we'll play around with the camera as we go forward. You can imagine where my hands are, right? Good. And then exhaling, hands come down as if through water. Yes. We're going to take our chest openers. I'm going to clasp the hands in behind my back, extend the arms, lifting the chest. And slightly just gazing up at the ceiling, maybe where the wall and the ceiling meet. So it's gentle in the neck, right? Always being gentle there, extending the arms. Good. And then I just want you to go forward. We're just going to take a forward bend first. So just bending at that thigh crease any amount. And then I'm just going to rest the hands. They're still clasped, but I'm going to rest them onto the small of my back. And I just breathe there in that letter L shape. And you can feel the strength in your thighs. If they're shaking a little bit, that means you're building a little strength, and that's normal. It looks simple, but sometimes the body is not used to using these muscles, and you might feel a little trembling, and that is just fine. And always backing off if it's more than you want. Now extending the arms again, creating that tension in the arms again, micro bend the knees, and then roll on up. Good. Nice. And I'm just going to let that go. Arms come to your sides. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let the arms swoop to the side like I'm drawing a curtain aside. Doesn't matter which side you start with. You can mirror what I'm doing. However it works, we'll do both sides eventually anyway. So letting that be a relaxed awareness. Good. And then what I'll do is I'll let the front foot sort of slip forward so that that front leg, that foot, the toes are facing out in front of me. And then I'll slip the back heel so that there's somewhat of an angle with the back foot. Okay, good. And now let's draw the arms up again. This is going to be beautiful. Arms coming up. Inhale, exhale. The arms come down and back. Clasp behind the back. Extend the arms strongly toward the floor, but gently. Maybe just nice, powerful pose, but not too rigid, right? Good. And then I'm just going to fold forward any amount at that thigh crease. Good. Making sure you're not hyperextending the knees at all, the legs. Good. Good. I'm just going to rest the hands on the small of the back. And again, just breathe here for a moment. So nice. These are poses that I often don't do on my own. I do my own yoga practice, but when I teach a class, I do things that are just a little more variety than I do at home myself. And it's just a lot of joy for me to share it with you so that we can all share it. It's this wonderful knowledge that's been passed down, and it's fun to share. Good. So take the arms strong, extend them behind you, and that lets you float back up. Good. And release the arms. Good. I hope this is recording. I'm doing this live. I have no idea how this works. It's so exciting, isn't it? Inhaling we'll take it one more time. Inhaling, the arms come up. Such a fun experiment to be open-minded with this. Draw the arms down as if through oatmeal or water. Clasp. Extend the arms with the fist toward the floor. And this time I'm just again going to fold forward any amount. Good. And now you can rest the hands again on the small of the back. This time I'm going to, on the inhale, rise up maybe about an inch. And on the exhale, I come back down into the stretch about an inch back down. Got it? So inhaling up, it's like a little air mattress, and exhaling down. And you might just get this wonderful sigh once in a while where you really let go, where you might feel work and strengthen the legs. Just wherever you're noticing sensation, you just breathe into it. Inhaling up about an inch and exhaling down. Good. And just really feeling that planted feet on the earth. Good. And I can feel a little trembling in my legs, and that's fine. Yeah, good. And then I'll extend the arms behind me once more so that I can just rise on up. Good. And release the arms to the sides. Very good. You might want to roll the feet on the ankles a few times. Let the feet relax. Good. And then we'll switch sides. Let's see if this works with the camera. I suppose it will. So I'll take the other side and swoop the curtains to the side. Good. Nice. Lets the body know where we're going. And then what I'm going to do is slip that front leg so that the toes are pointing in front of me. Yeah. And then slip the back heel so there's somewhat of an angle in the back foot. So we're well supported, and make sure that the feet are wide enough apart that you feel grounded and like your balance is steady for this pose. Yeah. And then I'm going to just take the arms up on an inhale. Good. Coming down through the water with the arms. Clasp. Extending the arms. Very nice. And then folding forward any amount into that thigh crease. And remember, we're not trying to make it down to the floor necessarily at all. We're just going for an interesting and sustainable stretch. Good. And you just hold that. You can release the tension in the arms. Just rest the clasped hands on the small of the back. So nice. Good. Good. And then I'm going to re-exert the tension in the arms so that I float on up. Good. And release the arms. Good. And just pause. You can breathe for just a sec here. Take a moment. It's not calisthenics. We don't have to go to the next thing. Just right away. Take a breath or two. And then we come up with the arms. We'll take it one more time with that air mattress style of the series. So the arms come down behind and clasp. Nice. Reaching through the fists or the knuckles down toward the floor, extending the arms. Good. And then exhaling, you come forward, folding forward at the thigh crease, any amount. Good. And then I'm just going to rise up and down with the breath. About an inch or two. Inhaling, press. Exhaling back down into the stretch. Inhaling and exhaling. I've talked before about how you can feel sometimes when your yoga starts to kick in and you get that sort of slight feel-good sensation. I think that just happened. It doesn't always happen. You don't always notice it, but it can be so nice where you're like, oh, relaxing. Yoga is so nice. Good. And of course, you can always relax the arms on your back. I didn't do that, but you can choose whether to keep them extended or not. And then I'm going to re-exert that tension in the arms so that I come up to standing. Arms float to the sides, and you just let that all go. Take a couple breaths before coming back to center, just to get your equilibrium and your blood pressure back to steady. Good. Good. And then let's come back down. Come to center rather. I'm going to take a nice wide stance, that sort of horse pose. Yeah. And here I would like to just take the arms in a sort of a C curve and the hands in a C curve. Yeah. And I'm just going to tilt to the side. This is a goddess pose. Or a god, whatever you want to be. And tilt to the other side. or you could be a unicorn or a fairy. You know, you choose your mythical creature. Side to side one more time. But it's powerful here. You can feel the strength in the thighs, and then onto the other side. So nice. Good. And then to the center. Yeah. And then I'm going to draw the hands toward the thighs, and I'm going to draw my opposite shoulder to my opposite knee. Any amount. We get a little gentle twist here. Good. Isn't it delicious? Come to the center. And other shoulder to the opposite knee. Being gentle with yourself, exploring. Good, and let's take it one more time each side if you want. If you're cooked, you come up and do something else, or come down to child's pose, whatever you wish. It's always your choice. If you want to lay on the floor for half an hour and just listen to my voice and tune out, do that. Good, and then other shoulder to the opposite knee. Beautiful. And then we come to center, kind of like that umpire pose, nice and strong. Good, and then I'm just going to roll on up. And I'll kind of heel toe the feet back in. Good. And let's just take a few hip rotations here. So the body loves when you do something a little different or with a little bit of effort, and then you give it something familiar and easy to do to sort of just erase the chalkboard. Yeah. Inhaling, the hips are forward. Exhale around and back. Beautiful. And then we'll change directions. Inhaling, the hips are forward. Exhaling around and back. So I've been reading a book in Spanish lately with a book club. And whether it's in Spanish or any other language, it's just so nice to read a story. I forget how nice it is to have a little vacation inside of a story. I had let it go for a few weeks because I was so busy, and then got back to it and just read it before bed or early in the morning. And I was like, oh, wow, I think my whole physiology relaxed because I wasn't thinking of current events. It was just so lovely. So, yeah, I'm reading a book by Isabel Allende. She is from Chile. Anyway, nice to look things up for your Kindle or what have you. I'm still a paper book person. Huge fan of the library. Good. Good, and then let's let the hips come to pause in the center. Now here I'm going to come to my squatting pose. And those of you who've taken class with me will recognize this. If you're new to it, I just have the toes pointing slightly out and the heels slightly in. And here I'm just going to press the palms toward the floor. And your butt could be up in the air. You know, everyone's body is different. Doesn't matter where you are. If this isn't great for your knees, stop right away and just sit comfortably on the floor, and you can do a version of this. Yeah, so always take care of your joints, your knees, everything comes first before the pose, yeah? So let's take that Bastrika breath. Well, first let's just take a nice easy breath into the belly here, shall we? So inhaling into the belly. So nice, getting into that low back. So this is our squatting transition pose down toward the floor. Inhaling. Isn't this fun? Good. And exhaling. And then we take this dog pant through the nose breath. And what we do there is like this. And I'm not sure if you can hear me. Let me just come up to the camera so you can understand what I'm getting at with the breath. So it's just this. It's initiated in the belly, and you just do it through the nose like a dog pant. So maybe you can hear me better when I come up to the screen. I wanted to do that for an example. And we'll just take that nice, nourishing, normal, regular belly breath for a pause. And you can notice how the breath, even more than the stretch or the pose, really gets into that low back. It's just so wonderful. I haven't done this for ages. So nice. Not this particular pose. And then we'll take that Bhastrika breath here once more. And I'm up on the balls of my feet here. You can play with how it feels good for your feet. I can also roll back to on my heels, but not everyone feels good doing that. So dog pan through the nose. And feel how that gets into the nooks and crannies in the low back. Yeah, good. Good. So just breathing normal, nourishing breath into the belly. Good. Isn't that nice? Just take a pause, a little breathing. I'm going to come to hands and knees pose, little table pose. And let's take a cat-cow. Or first, I changed my mind. So palms are pressed to the floor. I've got wrists under shoulders and knees under hips. Yeah, and then let's take the hips slightly to the side and around and back toward the heels. So we're taking a rotation with the hips and then round toward the other side. Good. And around, we take this wonderful moment to take some circles. And I'm going to throw a light colored blanket onto this couch. Pardon. I know that it's a little hard to see me, and maybe this will help with my dark clothes. Thank you, Candace. My friend Candace told me to make myself more visible in my clothing. I'll have to play with that. So inhaling forward, exhale around and back. My dance teacher in Berkeley had the same thing going on. She was wearing a blue leotard and she was blending perfectly into her navy blue love seat in her study during the class. So she did what I just did, and that works pretty well. And then change directions. Hips come toward the side and back down toward the heels. And up and around toward the other side, just nice and juicy. So it looks like we're not doing much, but really we are lubricating the hip joints. The wrist joints are getting a massage. The shoulders, even the ankles and the toes just a little bit. So, and the knees, right? So you're really coming down as far as it feels good. We're getting a lot of rotations in so many joints of the body here. Isn't that nice? Good. And then let's choose a breath to come up to pause. Good. Yes. And now what I want to do is take a couple cat-cows. So I'm just going to tip the tailbone up and the breastbone I draw forward, arch. And then round the back like a Halloween cat. Draw the navel toward the back of the spine. Navel toward the spine, inhale. The tailbone tips up. Draw the breastbone forward. Head is up. Exhaling, round the back. And I'm just going to let you take a few rounds of that in your own breath, in your own time. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Good. And since we're here, why don't we, let's come to a pause in the center here. And what I'm going to do is reach one of my legs. I'm going to extend the leg back behind me. The other one is still bent. And take the ball of the toes to the floor. Curl the toes under. And then I'm just going to press gently back into that heel toward the floor for a little bit of a runner's stretch or a calf stretch here, yeah? And we're doing it real gentle. Good. Good, and then draw that knee back to the center, the mat, and then extend the other side. So shift the weight, extend the other leg, curl the toes under, reach the heel down toward the floor. So nice. Not too much. We're not trying to push it. We just get a nice opening in that gastrocnemius muscle, the calf muscle. Good. Good. And then draw that knee back to center. Yeah, let's take it one more time. Extend the first side leg back. Toes curl under and press. Good. Very nice. And draw it back to the center. Extend the second side leg and curl toes under gently. Be nice to your body. Do less. That rhymed. You do press and do less. Okay. Good. And then we draw that knee back to the center. So great. Good. And let's just come down and rest. In child's pose, you can stack your palms and let your forehead rest on the floor. And breathe. Still just breathing, taking a pause. Enjoy it. Good. And then let's press up again to hands and knees. And this time, I'm going to draw one knee forward. So I'm going to draw 1 foot forward. So I'm in this sort of low lunge while standing on the other knee. Okay, good. And then I'm going to take my body and just fold forward as ever, however far you go. And I'm just going to rest the front of that shoulder onto the knee. Good. And that just breathing now into the low back. So nice. Good. Taking maybe about 5 breaths here, or whatever feels like the right amount to your body. Good, and then I'm just going to rise back up again. You can use your hand on your thigh to help you come back up. I'm going to take the hands in a prayer position in front of the chest and take that opposite elbow toward that opposite knee, any amount that works. And I'm just going to press the palms gently and take a gentle twist toward that bent side upper knee. Good. And you let the palms come toward the center of the chest as it's available to you. It doesn't necessarily come exactly there, but you just breathe and let that twist happen. Allowing it to happen rather than making it happen. So nice. I have a teacher in Berkeley who always used to say, so nice. I think I picked it up from them. But in the moment that I say it, it just really feels so good. Good. Nice. And then when you feel like you're complete, you let that come back to the center. And just pause and breathe down low for a sec, right where you land. And then I'm going to take gorilla fists into the floor so that I can draw that knee back to center, back to a table pose. Good. And then I'm going to draw the second side foot forward so that we're in that low lunge on the second side. Good. And then let's just fold forward. I'm folding at the thigh crease. And I just let myself come forward. Gorgeous. And you feel it wherever you feel it, you breathe there. I'm feeling it a lot in the side body and the low back. You might feel it somewhere else. And breathing there. Inhaling and exhaling. So you just really do it until you feel like you've got enough of that pose, and then you can switch when you feel like it. So I'm just going to rise back up, press into the foot, into the hands, into the thigh, and come back up. Good. And then here I'm going to, let's turn so that you can see me. I'm going to take the hands to that prayer position, and this time opposite hand to opposite knee. Take the twist to the other side. Good. Sort of like a gecko twist. I think some people call this a gecko. Have you ever seen a gecko? I wish I have. I love newts. I've seen a newt with an orange belly. The names of poses are fun in yoga. Sometimes the animals they use. Good. So this is the gecko. Breathing, nourishing your body. Good. And when you're feeling good enough there, you let yourself fold forward into the center again, just to take a centering breath. Good. And then take the gorilla fist to the floor. Let that knee come back to center. And let's come down and rest. Child's pose. And you can have the arms extended out in front of you, or they could draw down toward the ankles. And you just let the forward fold come toward the forehead comes to the floor, whichever way you enjoy. Or you can also stack the palms and just rest the forehead down to the earth. Breathing here, taking a nice pause. Good, and then I'm going to extend the arms into the extended child's pose and walk the hands over to the side, any amount, and breathe there. Breathing into the side body. If you want, you can stack the palms, stack that inner hand on top of the outer hand, or I usually just like to keep them right where they are. I get plenty of stretch right where they are when I walked them over parallel. So your choice. And breathe there. I have a yoga teacher, and she said when she first started yoga, she said, I just thought, wow, yoga is one of my favorite things, right away. Good. And then let's walk the hands toward the center. Nice. And then I'm going to walk them over to the second side, any amount. So you get a nice stretch in that second side body. And you let the head relax, release down. Breathing there. If you like, again, you can stack the palms if you're not getting enough stretch right where you are. So play with it. You can go back and forth with it. Good. Isn't it lovely? Good. And then we come back to center. Breathing there into the back body, into the kidneys, the adrenals that sit on top of the kidneys, just nourishing your long-term energy in that pelvic area with the breath. Good. And then I'm just going to come back up to seated position with on the knees here. We can take a thunderbolt pose, which we're already there right now. This is the thunderbolt pose, just kneeling. And again, if it's not great for your knees, you just sit comfortably and just place the hands on the thighs, and that's just fine. Good. And this one's supposed to be good for digestion. Yeah. There's pressure points on the tops of the feet that are, pressing into the earth here. So that's kind of interesting. There might be something to it. Yeah, good. And then here, let's just take our lion pose because here we are. Let's just take it. There's no one around, so you don't have to feel, self-conscious. So here's what you do. You take an inhale. And then on the exhale, you make your face really big. Pretend you are in an acting class and you have to make your face really big and you stick out your tongue, make your eyes wide. Okay, so inhaling and then exhaling, tongue out. Good. That is also supposed to be good for your immunity, the lion's pose. So and usually I start to kind of, really smile afterwards. I'm not sure why, but it's kind of nice. So let's take it again. Inhaling. And lion pose. Good. And come up to center. Take a regular inhale and exhale. Good. Good. And we'll take it one more time just because it's fun. Inhale. And lion pose. Good. Very nice, everyone. Let's come to a seated position on the floor. And let's just take a couple rotations seated here. So I'm trying to see where you can see me here. Inhaling, I'm going to have one knee bent and the other one extended. So nice. Inhale. Exhale over toward that bent knee and around and forward. Inhaling up. Exhaling around and forward. I'm so glad we're doing this together. Inhaling up. Exhale around and down. Good. Again, as you just take your own pace, your own breath pace. Inhaling up. Exhaling around and forward. Just working that breath into the low back. It's just a nice way to get all these interesting, lovely, gentle stretches on the way around. You'd be surprised how that can really help the low back and the hamstrings. without any particular concentrated, effort. You could do this while you're watching a movie on Netflix, right? Just get rid of your coffee table like I did and just sit in front of sit in the living room and watch your show. The yogis felt that was, if you're conscious that that's what you're doing, it might be taking a little focus off the yoga, but as long as you're conscious of it, it's okay to do. That's what my teacher's teacher, who was 90 and from India, said. So inhale, let's draw up and stay up, or come up in 1 or 2 when you're ready. Good. Just pause in the center, inhale and exhale. Take that nice, easy mudra breath. Sort of like saying, there, that's done. Sort of like making the bed, smooth the sheets, let it go. Good. Very nice. And then let's switch sides. So I'm going to draw the straight leg in, take the bend the straight leg. Inhaling. Exhale over that bent knee and around the horizon and up and around. Inhaling up and exhale around. Good. Inhaling up. And exhale. Just flirting with your limits, finding that limit and then really respecting it, not trying to push it. And then sometimes we notice that the body will start to open up for us when we just give it room to do so without pushing it at all. Still inhaling up and exhaling around and forward. Delicious. Make it nice and slow-mo yoga. My yoga teacher would say, do this when you feel like procrastinating. And then you sneak in your yoga. So might add up to, a nice amount, depending on how much you like to procrastinate. Good. Let's bring it up to seat when you're ready. It might not be the very next one, but when you're ready, just coming up to center and relax. Good. Nice. Just pausing here. Take that nice, easy mudra breath to say, there, that's done. And pause. You might notice the birds outside or the sunshine playing in the leaves in the tree. Just taking a breath and a pause. Good. Good, and then let's switch sides again. Draw the straight leg in, extend the other leg, and let's take our bow and arrow. Let's see what our time is. Take our bow and arrow. You can take the palm of the hand and put it around that ball of the foot. But first, let's first do our rockabye baby with the legs. So I'm going to just rock the bent knee side to side, like cradling a baby, or a porch swing kind of motion side to side. Good. So I've got one hand on the knee, one hand cradling the ankle so that everything feels supported. And then we can take our hand around the ball of the foot, and I'm going to draw on the inhale, take the knee back, just gently. Yeah, and then exhale, lengthen the leg out any amount, and it does not have to be straight, okay? Good. And you can use the hand behind you, the other one for support. And then inhale, draw the knee back, any gentle amount, and then exhale, you let the foot come down to the floor. So this is our bow and arrow pose. Inhale, we'll take it again. So draw that knee back, cupping the ball of the foot with your hand. Exhaling, lengthen that leg any amount. Good. And inhale, knee back. And come down with that foot. Maybe give the foot a little massage. We'll take it one more time. So, cup the foot with the hand, cup the ball of the foot, draw that knee back. Inhale, exhale, draw that, extend that knee, extend that leg. Good. And in the poses in the books, they do this when standing up and touch your nose towards your knee. So we'll do that next week. Good. And then we take that knee back. Inhale, exhale, you take that foot to the floor, massage the foot if you like. Good. So nice, good. Let's take the long leg in. So let's take first, we're gonna take that rockabye baby with the knee and ankles supported with the two hands. So cradling it and rocking it. Good. Good, and then when you're ready, you're gonna just cup the hand over the ball of the foot, draw that knee back, inhale. Exhale, extend. You can use the hand behind you to support. Good. Knee. And down. And take it one more. Inhale. Draw that knee back any amount. Exhale, extend. Good. And inhale, draw the knee back. Good. And exhale down. Massaging the foot. Good. And we'll take it one more time to even out the sides. Cupping that hand over the ball of the foot. Draw that knee gently back. Exhale, extend the heel out in front of you. Inhale, knee comes, drawing it back. And exhale, it comes down. Good. And let's just take a moment, just come to a comfortable seat, whatever that is for you. You might like to come to this pose or this pose with the legs extended, whatever works for your body. Good. And here I just want to say thank you. That's class. And if you like, you can just let this video run, and I invite you to take your small bench or your sofa cushions or what have you, and you can just bring your hip to the side of it, draw the legs up onto the cushion, yeah, and lay down with the legs elevated to come into your Maui pose, your Shavasana. You don't have to have a stool. You could just lay on the floor and breathe. And in this pose, the thigh bones fall deep into the thigh sockets. Hollowing the belly. Beautiful job, everyone. Gratitude to yourself for carving out some time for you, nourishing your body with breath. So just staying there as long as you wish as I come up to say thank you, and that's class. Ciao.